Like, here's the thing. I used to like fighting games. I used to like Tekken. Like, before the fighting game community happened and kind of ruined it for me, where they're just like, well, you suck at fighting games. You're not allowed to play fighting games. You suck at them. And whatever. Fucking sick of it. Like, am I not allowed to play a fighting game just because I'm bad? Because that's how it seems. Like, it's like, for example, you look at anything to do with fighting games, and it's always like esports, all the time, just constant esports. And it's just like, what about the casual audience? What about them? Are they not allowed to have fun either? Is it only the esports crowd that are allowed to have fun in fighting games? Because it seems to me that any time a game has any single player mode, like, people complain because it's, oh, they added single player to the game and it's ruining the game for us because we want balanced online gameplay and we're not getting it because you casual scrubs are getting all your single player modes, and that's why I'm sick and tired of all these casuals playing fighting games. And then the next minute they'll complain when the servers die, and then they'll start, and I've noticed this, fighting game fans have alienated the casual audience for ages by complaining that fighting games are catering to casuals and having all of these like single player modes. And then eventually, once they realise that casuals aren't playing them anymore, they'll complain about how the games are dying quickly and how there's nobody around. But the thing is, they'll also complain that casual people don't stick around because they suck at the game, obviously. But that's the thing, like, so what? Like, at least we're there for launch, And not everybody wants to play online. Have you ever considered that possibility? Like, it's not an impossibility to, like, play a freaking video game single player and enjoy it, but according to fighting game fans, that's illegal. You're not allowed to do that. Like, there's plenty of times where I've played a single player fighting game, like Tekken 6, and had some fun. But that's not allowed, because the fighting game community, according to them, like, people don't play fighting games for single player. People aren't allowed to play single player in fighting games. It's all about the competitive. It's all about serious fucking business. And to those people, I say, go fuck yourself. I want to play what I want to play without being good in the game. Am I not allowed to do that? And that's the thing. Like, these 2D fighters, I cannot play them to save my life. I think you can probably see right now that I just cannot play these games at all. Like, I just can't. And I've never been able to play them, but the community is so alienating because they just make it worse. And I think ever since the era of online gaming has happened, like, it just made everything worse. And it's just made it more alienating. So now, like, you just feel like, because nothing's catering to you, it's like a combination of multiple things really with fighting games. It's because nothing caters to you anymore, there's no single player modes anymore, or not enough, or they're not as good. And also because, like, you're gonna get your ass clapped every time you go play online by tryhards. And at the same time, it's kind of like, you have the fighting game community which are known to be like pieces of shit as well, and how, like, they're just complaining and bitching about casuals. And then have the nerve to make videos like, anyone can play fighting games. Fighting games are for everyone. Why you should play fighting games? And you'll see this. You'll see this all the time on YouTube. These stupid videos of people preaching about how everybody should get into fighting games. But the thing is, these are the same people that fucking alienated the fans to begin with. That alienated us because they didn't want us getting in the way of designing the, like, balancing of the game. Like, they didn't want us ruining the balancing by forcing the developers to make all these other modes. It's almost like, for example, if I complained that WWE 2K24 was focusing more on My Rise mode than Universe mode. Like, it's like me saying that WWE games should only do Universe mode, just because that's all I play on it. And while I do feel that way to some degree, I understand some people like My Rise. I get it. Some people like different things, and I'm all for games having multiple modes. Don't care if it doesn't balance the game or whatever, as long as there's some fun for everyone to be had, but that's not how the fighting game community thinks. And as far as I'm concerned, fighting games aren't even games. they're treated like full-time jobs by these people. And sometimes you'll have these people that, like, you know, they won't take, like, and I say, like, you'll have these people that do play these fighting games, but they don't take it super seriously, which is good, but they're very few and far between, and, like, a lot of people, they do take it seriously. And it's like, you know, the whole nature of fighting games just feels like, if you're not into competitive gaming, you're just alienated. And I feel that fighting games, like, have the most alienating community of them all. Like, I used to enjoy playing, as I say, I used to enjoy playing Tekken by myself and Smash Brothers and stuff like that, and then I just completely lost interest, just simply because of the community. Like, I remember playing Smash Brothers, and I was in this clan, believe it or not. They asked me to join or whatever the fuck. Like, it's like supposed to be this esports clan. I didn't really know, I just thought it was just a group of people that played Smash. That's all I thought it was. And I played fucking, some guy wanted to play with me or whatever the hell. And then I decided that I'm going to use items and play on a certain stage, and then he just suicided twice, and then he had to go at me and say, "Why are you putting items on? What the fuck are you doing? Putting items on?" I'm like, what the fuck? I want to have fun here, dude. Do you not know what fun is? But then I realised I'm talking to the fighting game community, and these people just all ego, no fucking, like, that's all they have, like, just pure egotistical pricks who just, like, all he wanted to do was just basically bully me in a fighting game. That's literally all he wanted to do. To show me up and show that he's better than me. And yeah, that's basically what he wanted to do. Like, I was a newcomer to the community, he just wanted to haze me, then I put items on and he had to go. That's what it was all about. And it's just like, dude, what the fuck? I don't give a shit. Get a fucking life. You know? That's what I have to say about these fighting game fans. They just piss me off, man. But yeah, here I am playing a fighting game like shit, but I'm not allowed. I feel like I'm doing an illegal activity by playing this game. I feel like I'm committing a crime, a criminal offence by playing this game. Even though, you know, I legally have this game, like, on VOD, although I did get it for free, but it was, you know, like, I do have a copy that I technically own on GOG, you know, whatever the hell. Because, as I say, like, when they were giving away this game for free, so yeah, I ended up getting a copy. But, yeah, like, I have a right to play this game as much as anybody else. But you wouldn't think so, because people treat these games like only a certain group of people can play them. And it's not just fighting games, there's a lot of games like that, a lot of them, and it pisses me off every fucking time. Like, MOBAs and stuff like that, you know, those games just annoy the shit out of me. Like, they fucking do. You know? Like, it's just all competitive stuff. It's just like, why do people get so stupidly competitive over video games? Why can't you just learn to just, like, have some stupid fun? Like, what is so hard about this? Like, what is so hard about just having some dumb fun with your pals and just, I don't know, just like laughing it off with every fight, not even trying stupidly hard? Why does everyone have to fucking try hard? Like, the whole point of having fun with other people is to not try hard, but to just get to stupid nonsense, you know? That's the whole point. But people get so competitive and it's just like, then the fun ends. It's just like, now it's not silly nonsense. It's like, for example, when I used to play Smash with my friends, it used to be just like crazy stuff. Like, a lot of us would do stupid stuff like suicide and that lot. It's just like, you know, it was just funny, you know. No matter who happened, no matter who won, everybody ended up laughing by the end, you know. Everyone found it funny whether they got their ass beat or whatever they were winning. It didn't matter. It was all laughs. It wasn't laughs at people, it was laughing at what was going on at the screen. But the fighting game community is like the opposite of that, and I just feel that they have ruined this genre. And a lot of people will say, well, it was always like this, you know, back when you had like the arcades and stuff. But the thing about it is, and the difference between arcades and now is you have online now. Back in the arcades, you wouldn't dare act like these people online do, and like these people who go to tournaments, like talk shit like fucking low tier god and like then start fights or whatever the hell. And it's just like, you know, you don't have that You know what I mean? But at the same time, you didn't have to play with other people at the arcade. You could still play single player. You know? That's the stupid thing. But yeah, I already don't like the fact that I have to like press a ton of buttons. Like what I just did there, I just tried to mash a load of buttons, like directional buttons, in different directions because the fucking input complexity in these fucking fighting games pisses me off, man. And this is why when I did my video response to the button mappers for a fighting move, I picked Urban Reign. Because even though I know it's not a fighting game, it's a 3D beat-em-up, everybody knows this, but it's what a fighting game should be. Like, fighting games are just bad beat-em-ups as far as I'm concerned. That's what they are because of the the input complexity. I just think that if you can't map button inputs to like simple functions, you fail. Like, part of the challenge of making a good game is to have good inputs. I mean, that's one of the things that Kirby Air Ride does, and Sakurai prided himself on having those really simple, easy to pick up and play controls. And that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing at all. That's something that's deserving of praise. Like, if people do that, that's peak game design. Like, it takes a lot of talent to be able to do that. But having all of these button combinations, like, it's just not necessary, and at least to me, and it just makes things needlessly difficult. I mean, I kind of get that you want to have tons of different moves and stuff, but you know, you're going to eventually find yourself with false choices anyways, and moves that are just completely useless, or just like balancing issues from the moves anyways, so it's better to have less, but have moves that mean something, you know? And that's the thing, and surely in that regard, you shouldn't really need to have tons of input complexity. I mean, that's why I love Urban Reign. No input complexity, it's the most thrilling experience I've ever had. And, like, I definitely would recommend it, as I say, but that's the thing, like, I just really think that fighting games, they really need to improve, and the thing about it is it's a bit of a hot take, I guess, because, you know, I just feel that fighting games are just, like, they're stuck in their old ways because people don't want them to change, you know? But I think that simplifying things makes things a lot more sophisticated, you know? And it's not like these things haven't been done. You know, there have been attempts to make games like this that are simplified. Not like this, like, you know, simplified games that are fun for everyone and anyone can pick up and play it. And that's what games should, especially multiplayer games. Like, multiplayer games, if your game can't be played by everyone, it shouldn't be multiplayer, you know? Like, it's just going to have shit multiplayer and no one's going to bother. Aside from, like, the small group of people who are actually invested in it, like, no one's going to play the multiplayer. If you want to make a multiplayer-focused game, then make it simple. Make it easy to pick up and play. You know? Don't make it complicated, because if you make it complicated, people are just going to get pissed off. But that's the problem, innit? You know? That's the problem with these games, and it's just like, it really shouldn't be a problem, because the principle of fighting games, it's not much different from beat-em-ups, except from it's one-on-one. You know? That's the thing, the principle of it, and that's what Urban Reign is. Urban Reign is the principle of fighting games without them actually being a fighting game. It's a fighting game for people who don't like fighting games. And in the end, it's a 3D beat-em-up, which says a lot about how great 3D beat-em-ups are and how sophisticated they are by comparison. I think some of the best games ever are made when fighting game developers make 3D beat-em-ups, because they now, usually, I mean, you have Itagaki who decides, oh, we're going to have input complexity in our beat-em-up, which is stupid, by the way, but that's Itagaki, what you expect, isn't he? Bit of an idiot. But, like, freaking, what do you call it, like, Itsuno? He saved a fucking franchise, and he was a fighting game developer, and he saved Devil May Cry, so it kind of says a lot, really. And yeah, that's the key. That's what you've got to look at it as. But yeah, this is the King of Fuckers 2002, which, you know, I think I have 2000 and 2001 somewhere. I forget. One on the PS2, I forget which level. I forget, but it's kind of like a compilation. I have that, but this is another one I ain't got on the VOD and like whatever. I'll just play this. Jesus Christ, will this guy stop? And just because I slightly nudged it up. Well, that was lucky. Probably not going to survive the next fight, like. Yep. And the guy with the same name as me. And he's the protagonist. Yeah, I'm just picking random characters. I don't even know who I'm playing as. And that's the silly thing, like, people stick to one character and just name them. It's like, you know. I get if you like the character, but a lot of it's due to the fact that they just play the fucking character and name them just simply because they're good at them, you know? It's literally it. They just know the character well and whatever. That's the thing, and it's just like, you know... I'm just sick of it. I'm just sick of the fucking racism in the fucking game, you know... Like, the gaming community. Like, it gets old, folks. It fucking does. Like... Just let people fucking enjoy fucking video games. You know? And people will say, well, we're not currently enjoying it. Yes, you are. It's the atmosphere. It's the whole atmosphere around it. It just tells you. Is there no random feature in this game to fucking pick all these people? I don't fucking know. Whatever. We'll just pick them. But yeah, like, this is just me playing fucking random video games, bloody cunt. Like, that was basically what it is. I'm playing this fucking game, and all I can do is bitch about fucking gaming communities. Like, that just sums it up, doesn't it? That just sums up fucking my thoughts on just gaming right now. I'm sick of people, man. I'm sick of the gaming community. I'm fed up of them. They're all a bunch of fucking tossers anyway. Like, I'm just sick of them. Like, so many people in this fucking gaming community just fucking bellend. They need to fucking shut the fuck up and let other people, like, play how they want to and stop being fucking elitists and start thinking about other people and what they've done, you know? Which, that's the problem, isn't it? They always get handed to the fucking esports crowd, and it's like, you know, consider the fact that other people play video games, and that's the thing. There's a lot of things that fighting games are going to have to do to bring people back, because it's going to take a long time. You know, like, when you've alienated people for so long, it's just like, yeah, it becomes a problem. But I think online gaming is part of the problem. Like, online gaming has fucked so many things, and I think for fighting games, it has killed it. I think online gaming killed fighting games massively, because, like, back when it was just all about single player, they had to have a lot of single player content, because not everybody had friends to play with, you know? So they had to make single player content to get people to buy the game. You know, they couldn't just do what they did in the arcades, and that's the reason why it was so much fun. You had tons of features and stuff. I mean, like King of Fighters, this game, it's just fights, that's it. There's no real, at least from what I've played, there's no real interesting features. It's just pure fighting game. And honestly, like, none of the characters in this game really resonate with me. I don't care about them. They're just generic anime characters. I just don't really give a shit. Like, no matter how hard I try, like, King of Fuckers and Street Fighter, it's all the same bullshit. Like, it's just the same shit every fucking time. And yeah, that's not gonna good. This guy's annoying, man. Oh. I think we got him. Barely. Jesus Christ. I don't know what this is. I really don't. But it's just one character. Yeah, like fucking female character. Oh, what the fuck? But yeah, I just don't understand the appeal of these games before. I never will. I mean, people, I guess like people just like to have input complexities or whatever. I just don't. Like, I get that people want something technical, but I just don't think that input complexity is the way. There needs to be some kind of balance, you know? I do believe that there needs to be. I'm an advocate for accessibility in games, I really am. Like, because like, there's a point where having some level of complexity is a good thing, but it's got to be the right kind, you know? It's got to be emergent complexity. It's got to be simple for people to understand the rules, but the fun part comes in when all the rules are known. Like when you can perform all of the moves without any problem, without having to learn button combinations or learn basic shit to actually play at a competent level. That's when you know you've got a good game. When it's the opposite, when to play at a competent level you have to jump through hoops for years, you've got a shit game. And that's the problem with fighting games. They are too complicated, and it's a huge problem, and people never call them out for the flaws. You know, because we live in a world where if you have any criticism for hard games, you just need to get good, and that's it. That's the world that we live in right now, and it sickens me, it annoys me. You know, it's just like we're not allowed to criticize because we're not good at the game. Like, just not everybody likes this stuff, and because of that, criticism is legitimate. But if you want to make any valid argument, you have to consider all crowds, and nobody ever fucking does, do they? You know. They only think about themselves and what they want. And at the end of the day, that's why there's always going to be freaking this problem with fighting games not doing well nowadays, you know? I mean, I do think that a lot of fighting games don't really try. I mean, like, I can't really think of a single freaking King of Fighters game that's ever tried. I mean, Street Fighter's probably made its first attempt to try with Street Fighter 6, I'll give it that. Trying to add like the single player mode. I will give it some credit for that. But King of Fighters is still the same fucking shit, which makes it fitting that I'm playing this, because every game is just a roster change, or like a roster upgrade, or whatever the hell. Like, it's just more of the same shit, and you get tired of buying these games that are just all the same. Eventually you just want something different. And the thing is, having more features and modes, like, why do you think people go back to play the new Dynasty Warriors games? Because they add new modes. It's not because they want to experience the story of like the Three Kingdoms again for like the billionth time. Like, you've seen it all before, people. You don't need to see it again. You know? We already know. It's so freaking obvious. But that's the thing, there's new modes and stuff that people want to play. And I always say that Musou games are like, it's a bit like when you're playing like a wrestling game. Like, every so often you'll buy one like that's relatively new, but you won't buy every new one unless you're really passionate about them and have to have every single one, you know? Like, at least I don't. Like, it's like the new Dynasty Warriors game that's coming out or whatever. You know? It's like that game, which is Dynasty Warriors Origins. Like, I'll probably never get it. I probably won't get the game because right now I just don't give a shit. You know? I just don't. It's that simple. I've got other things that I'd rather do. But, like I say, other people will get it. It all depends on the person. It's a personal choice. You know? But all this pandering to esports, it's just going to make things worse, and then no one's going to bother. And that's kind of how I look at fighting now. I only played this game because I got it for free. I would not bother going out of my way to buy a fucking game like this. No way. But the only reason why I own King of Fighters, like the other one, is I got it in a bundle, so that's why I have the PS2 one. And yeah, I got this one for free. That's literally the only reason why I have this game and why I'm playing it right now. You know? I won't buy this game at all. I won't go out of my way to buy a game like this. I just don't think it's fun. I just don't think it's amazing for me. I mean, the thing about it is that it's one of those franchises that just has so much reliance on input complexity, and it's just, that's the root of the franchise, isn't it? I mean, you can play like this, I guess, if you want to, but, you know, and just roll kicks forever. But that's the choice, really, isn't it? But the thing about it is it's just like, for me, King of Fighters is, like, there's no point in me even talking about fighting games, because no matter what, my opinions don't really matter, because I don't play these games. But I can tell you right now what the games I do kind of like the most out of all the fighting games I've played. Actual fighting games, I'm not talking about the one that I mentioned for the Golden Mappers, because that's the real answer, isn't it? And we all have real answers. Yeah, like Tekken. I mean, let's be honest, Urban Reign was made by the Tekken devs, so yeah, that should tell you everything you need to know. And yeah, that's said it all. I've always said Tekken is the one that I would consider to be the most interesting of all fighting game franchises, because, I mean, Soul Calibur's also pretty good. I will say Tekken was Soul Calibur, but I think Soul Calibur for the creation features and some of the modes, whereas Tekken just for like the roster and the story and the world. Like those two are the best, and they're both by Namco. That's the silly thing. Both Namco games. Isn't that funny? Like Namco just dominating the market. Then you have SNK that's just doing the same shit over and over and over again. It's just like, you know, why play a game like this when I could just go play Tekken? A game that's constantly adding new features and modes until Tekken fucking, whatchamacallit, like fucking Tekken 7, where they just removed all of the fun features and stuff. Oh great, this is going to be the fucking boss fight or whatever. Yep, this is going to be hard. Usually are when I'm fighting these boss fights, aren't they? Yeah, this guy can't have any. And yep, he's just going to infinite combo me now. That's usually the case as well. Like, that's another thing that's annoying about fighting games, the infinite combo bullshit. Like, fucking enemies that are just constantly comboing you, and that's the fucking multiplayer as well, but you just get infinite comboed. You know? Urban Reign fixes that by having a ability to use specials to counter at any time, and like not only that but also counter moves. But like this guy can just like hit you with like multiple hits. It's a boss fight though, isn't it? And you just go dodge everything that I do and just have like the most annoying AI possible. That's basically it, isn't it? Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? I just like, this is why I just don't play these games. Unless you're into it from like back in the day, and you played these games for like years, there's just no reason to play them. I think that's just kind of the thing, unless they've got like cool modes. There's just no reason to play fighting games anymore. What's the point? What do you get out of it? Like, what's the fun? It's like they're designed to be as unfun as possible for the casual demographic. You know, that's kind of what it's like. And yet, it really shouldn't be that way, but it kind of is. And I feel that SNK, like, with this fucking franchise, has always pushed for, like, let's make everything stupidly hard, but that's kind of how I've always thought about fucking... That's kind of what I've always thought about fucking, like, Street Fighter as well. It's this game and Street Fighter are, like, the two that I just cannot stand. I mean, I just never understood it. I just never understood what the appeal is of these two franchises. I never got it. Never understood it. Never will. What is the point? What, like, everything I do in this game, it's just like, unless I know the inputs, I'm not going to be able to do anything. So it's just like, have to learn the inputs, boys, and I don't have all my life to do that because I've got other things that I'd rather do in my life, you know? All the time spent fucking playing fighting games could be spent at the fucking gym lifting fucking weights. You know? Why fucking waste my time fucking trying to get good at video games when I can do other things that are more productive in my life? You know? That's the thing that people don't understand when they think, oh, you need to get good at the game. Do I? Do I need to get good at the game? Or do you just need to make better arguments? You know? Do you just need to fucking realise that there are problems with this genre and that they need sorting out if you want people to give a shit? You know? Wow, he completely blocked my power, guys. Wonderful. This is a boss fight, so it's just going to be one of those fights, isn't it? But I feel that 2D fights are the worst. I don't know what it is. I really don't, but I just really think that for some reason 2D fights are inherently more difficult than 3D. I don't understand why. Like, every time I play the 3D fighter, like, it always feels easier, and I don't, you know, I don't get it. I don't get why 3D fighters are easier than these 2D ones. but something about it, it's kind of like shmups. Vertical shmups I feel a lot easier than horizontal ones. Horizontal ones are a pain in the ass. Like, and I'd much rather play vertical, and I'd much rather play 3D, and this is the thing, a lot of people would much rather play the 2D, and the 2D ones are the most well-known and glorified. It's like, I don't get it. Like, once again, the masses again. I just don't agree with half the people on planet Earth, and that's the problem I have. Like, I always have the least popular opinions. And I don't get why, but like the masses, man, I've just learned not to give a shit about what anyone says and not trust anyone. Everybody is fucking wrong. Like, yeah, this guy's just taking the piss, isn't he? I think his regen health is low, which is not fun. Yeah, infinite combo bullshit. You know, this is where I should stop playing this fucking game, isn't it? I'm just sick and tired of fucking... These games are just stupid. I think King of Fighters is just like one of the worst franchises fighting I've ever made, personally. Unless you're like into esports, why would you play this? Like, why? It's just super bullshit hard. Even though I've lowered the difficulty as much as I possibly can, it's still stupidly difficult. The point is just not fun. I want to play on the easiest difficulty and thrash them. Why is that so fucking difficult for me to do? Why do I have to fucking play, like... Why can't I just pick easy mode and make it easier? I've been trying to do this the whole time. Look, difficulty level down. I keep pressing this, and it's not doing anything. You know? I want to make this game easy so I can actually play the fucking game and get through it, because I don't fucking give a shit. You know? I just want to have fun my way. But games like this are just fucking designed for fucking tryhards. It's fucking King of Fighters. You know? Fucking shit franchise, man. What I think this is one of the worst fighting game franchises. I genuinely do. This and Street Fighter are just terrible. Fuck them. And fuck the communities of these fucking franchises of power, because I just think they're fucking shit. You know? I mean, Tekken Soul Calibur, you know, I can get on, I can vibe with them. Even Mortal Kombat Deception I'd rather play than this. Like, fucking hell, like, Mortal Kombat Deception, I've had fun with that game. This game, shit. This game's just fucking boring. This game is just annoying and boring and shit. Why would I play this? There's nothing, there's no fun. Just annoying. Just for the sake of being annoying. I swear this guy's fucking... Yeah, he's regenerating his health. What a fucking surprise. That's the cue for me to just fucking not even bother playing. I'm fucking done. This is such a shit game. Why did I fucking play this fucking garbage game? Fucking fighting games, man. They fucking suck. Play Urban Reign, it's better. Like, if I was playing Urban Reign, I'd know exactly what I'm wanting to do, and I'd just basically be having fun. It's that simple, I'd just be having fun. Which is what gaming's supposed to be. Like, how can I have so much fun in Urban Reign, but yet when I play this, it's misery. Just throughout. Surely, there's something to be said about that. Surely. Because this game won't even let me win the fucking game. Like, if your arcade mode is impossible, maybe you should probably just take your fucking game off stores and make it possible. You know? At least on easy mode. I don't care, like, if you want to make it harder for you and high difficulties, be my guest. I mean, eventually it's going to be stupid hard mode when you get online anyways, so at least give some people the ability to play a fighting game and feel like they're actually winning. For the love of fucking Jesus, I don't fucking care anymore. Like, all these people are saying, ooh, all these casuals when it handed to them. It's like, damn fucking straight we do, because we paid for these shitty games. I mean, I didn't pay for this, I got it for free. But if I did, a lot of people did, you got to bear in mind. And, yeah, like, we'd feel a bit betrayed, wouldn't we? Think about the people that get into these games for the first time. They're going to be bloody miserable. And that's the thing, it's just like, and there's so many games that have this problem, and fighting games are the perfect example, but it's just like, you know, so many fucking games have this problem, where there's just so much fucking inherent complexity that they are just impossible to fucking play, and it's just like, why Like, how can you expect anyone to fucking play this game with a straight face? You know? And this is the thing, I can play Soul Calibur and Tekken and just have fun. Even though I know I'll never be good at them, and never have, like, never really be, like huge fan. Like, that's the thing, I'll never be good at them, but at least I can have some fun playing them. But stuff like this is the best example of a fighting game that just caters purely to the esports community and nobody else. That's what King of Fuckers is. Same with Street Fucker. Although Street Fucker at the very least, they decided to have a story mode, I'll give them credit for that. But for the longest time, they were the same. But SNK, same fucking bullshit. And I think, ever since Street Fighter 6 was released, I'm not playing by the way, I'm just watching my character get killed. Ever since Street Fighter 6 released, I think King of Fuckers has become the worst fighting game franchise of all time, in my opinion. I know that might not mean anything. A lot of people say, well, you don't know shit about fighting games, so who cares about your opinion? Well, I care about my opinion. This is me talking here, and I think King of Fuckers is one of the worst. I think it is the worst, personally. At least from what I've played. Because it's the one that it just feels that there's just there's nothing of value here unless you're into esports. Unless you're one of those people who has to be who's like really fucking good at the game, or like is willing to invest hours to get good at the game. It's just fucking the worst. There's nothing of value to it, there's no interesting modes, you're just playing the game, you know? And that's kind of how I look at it. And King of Fighters has never really evolved beyond that, really. It's just been the same fucking shit throughout. And it's just like, you wonder why people don't give a shit. You know? I just don't care about games like this at all. I just think they're just so fucking garbo. Like, just... What is the appeal of having to fucking waste half your life learning a fighting game? You know? There's so many other things that I'd rather do with my life. Like, seriously, there are. Like, and fighting games is not one of them. Like, I'd rather play more games than just stick to one fighting game and just play that all my life. I mean, yeah, I get that a lot of the principles of beat-em-ups, like, stem from fighting games, but that's only because back in the day, like, that was kind of what beat-em-ups sort of... I mean, it's kind of a weird thing because, like, the whole idea of a fighting game is to be a more complex beat-em-up. But the problem is, more complex doesn't necessarily mean better, and when you have game developers that make fighting games, make beat-em-ups, they're usually really, really good. And it's because fighting games, like beat-em-ups, don't have the insane input complexity usually, or complexity in general, that fighting games have. And that's what ruins fighting games. It's just like, I just don't see the point. Why are we still releasing these games? Just stop making fighting games, people. That's my personal stance, and those people that like these games. But for me, I just think stop making them, stop releasing them, and if you're going to release them, just make them a fucking live service at this point. Because clearly we're not allowed to have fun playing them and play, you know, single player modes that you can't be bothered to put in. Just make the game a fucking live service. Give those fucking esports tryhards a netcode, make it fucking free to play so that idiots will play it, like, and like noobs will play it, and then you get to kill noobs, and then you get to feel good about yourself before you get beaten down by someone better. And yeah, like, that's the solution, I think, because that, like, why are companies still trying to sell fighting games? Like, if that's all we're going to do. You know, if you want to sell a fighting game, if you want to sell a game to me, put some effort into the single player. Make sure the single player is fun, you know? Don't focus on the... If you're only going to focus on the online, if that's going to be your sole focus, just make a live service. Because here's the thing. Online in any video game is a ticking time bomb. Because eventually online servers are going to go away and disappear, no matter what you do. So, you know... you might as well just make it a live service if it's going to just be online. But if you're going to bother with single player stuff, then yeah, do that. But I just don't understand why companies still do this stupid model. Are they dumb? Like, I get that a lot of us complain about live services, me included, but that's because those live service games, the problem with those live service games is they're live service games that are like single player games that really want to play a lot of single player on them and stuff, and like then you have like all the data stored on the servers, and that's why we have so much of an issue with it. And you know, also having microtransactions in them is not usually fun, but usually you get microtransactions in paid fighting games anyways because they need the DLC to justify them, you know, existing. It's like, just make it free to play for fuck's sake at this rate. Like, what's the point even bothering? You might as well just make it free to play. Like, because if you make it free to play, then you're gonna have more people playing it, and you're gonna have the online, like, servers going, and, you know, the people who will buy the microtransactions will buy the microtransactions, you know, because it just seems like a winning formula to me.